Sai Ram. Though I have been a student of the Brindavan campus of the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning at Brindavan, Whitefield in Bangalore, there is something very odd, or shall I say something very unique about the hostel building at Whitefield that I did not notice during all those 3 years from 2000 to 2003. Swami says in his discourses, Pashyan api na pashyati moodho, moodho, moodho. Swami says, you fool, fool, fool. You see and yet you do not see. He refers to the ephemeral nature of the world and the fact that true bliss can be attained only in union with God. Swami says, you see how the world is ephemeral and yet you are not able to see it. That was the kind of case for me in Brindavan when I speak about the hostel. Now, what is this unique feature about the students' hostel in Brindavan? Well, from outside when you look at this hostel, it looks like a 3-storied structure. But when you enter the hostel, you will see that it is actually a 4-storied structure because there is one entire floor that exists underground at a basement level, under the normal ground level. I have never seen any of Swami's buildings having an underground level. Every building, whether it's a college building, whether it's a museum, whatever it is, everything begins at the ground floor and builds upwards. Only this building, as far as my knowledge goes, which is having an underground layer. Now, this was not perceived, as I said, as an oddity, so we just left it at that. But when I got to know the story of why the boys' hostel in Brindavan has an underground floor, it so deeply touched my heart. Because like everything associated with Swami, it is so beautiful, so divine and so soaked with love. This story is about how spontaneous, instantaneous and immediate is God's response to a heartfelt yearning of a devotee. This is a story that is definitely going to inspire as well as touch our hearts. On the 9th of June 1969, Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, our dear Swami, inaugurated the Sri Sathya Sai Arts and Science College at Brindavan, Whitefield in Bangalore. Now, the college building was right beside the ashram at Brindavan, and there were this lucky first batch of students who got enrolled. Now, they would stay at the ashram in a makeshift hostel. What was this hostel? There was a shed right beside Swami's residence, and this shed housed all the students. They were very happy because they had Swami for them. Swami would often visit them in this accommodation, in this humble accommodation of theirs, and though in a worldly sense this accommodation was humble, it was more magnificent than the greatest royal palaces in the world because it had the presence of the living and moving God amidst them. So the students were very, very happy. But as a couple of years passed, we are into the 1970s, the number of students enrolling increased, and Swami felt that better facilities must be provided for the students in terms of their accommodation. Swami is always thinking of what can be done to better the life. When I say life, it's not just physical and mental life, but the spiritual life of the students and the devotees. He's always concerned. His love is that of 1,000 mothers, his discipline is that of 1,000 fathers, but yes, his wisdom is that of 1,000 Sadgurus. That is how Swami is. So Swami wanted to get a new hostel constructed. Swami summoned the same team that had constructed the college building, and he instructed Colonel Jogarao to make all the preparations and plans and look out for a possible site where a new hostel can come up. So it took a few days, but the Karma Yogi that Colonel Jogarao is, I do really hope that you know about Colonel Jogarao because he is a wonderful devotee of the Lord. In case you wish to know more about him, you can have a look at the link above where we have the beautiful experiences and stories of this Karma Yogi Colonel Jogarao. So Colonel Jogarao was summoned and Swami told him to find out, and he did his job with clockwork precision and efficiency. He reported back to Swami. He had located a place, a piece of land right beside the new college building, and he had also taken the measurements. He had done everything. Everything was ready. It just needed the groundbreaking ceremony to be performed and the construction to proceed. So one day before that, Swami came to this makeshift hostel of the students and gathered all the students, and Swami was very excited because he conveyed to them the good news that their lives were going to improve. Swami said, a new hostel with good facilities is being constructed for you. Colonel Jogarao has found out a good place right beside the college building. It's going to be wonderful. And Swami was playing up this beautiful hostel that was coming. Though Swami was so happy, the students were not, because they immediately understood that right now they were living about possibly 20-30 meters away from Swami. Once the new hostel comes up, they would be living 200 to 300 meters away from Swami, and that was too huge a distance, 10x distance, and they were not happy. Yes, it is important to be dear to God, but they also wanted to be near God. Somehow when we are near God, there is a greater chance of dearness also coming. Not for God, because God loves us all infinitely and equally, but for us. That is why Swami says it's important that we have good company, satsang. Satsang makes us yearn for God, pine for God, and therefore the students wanted to be near Swami also. One of the boys in fact wrote a letter and he handed it over to Swami. When Swami read the letter, Swami looked at this boy and asked, "Shall I read this aloud?" He said, "Swami, whatever you wish." And Swami read aloud the contents of that letter. I'm just paraphrasing here. The boy had written that, "Swami, you are very happy that we are getting a new hostel, but we are not so happy, Swami, because it means we will be going far away from you. For us, these comforts are not as important as it is important to be near you. Swami, we want to always be close to you. We want to be near you. Please don't put us so far away, Swami. Even if you feel that you have to build a new hostel, please build it right next to your residence, Swami. We don't want to be far from you." Swami read this. Then Swami looked at the principal. It was Principal Narendra. And Swami asked him, "Narendra, what do you think? The boys are saying like this, they're writing like this." He said, "Swami, the boys have come here only for you, not for any education and all that, Of course, he left that unsaid, but he said, "Swami, they have all come only for you. They have left their parents and they have come. They should be near you always, Swami." That's it. Once the prayer from the heart had come, once the blessings of the elder was there, Swami turned to Jogarao, Colonel Jogarao, and he said, "Jogarao, change the plans. Can we have this hostel constructed beside my residence here?" And Colonel Jogarao, the practical karma yogi, he said, "Swami, it's impossible, because there is this huge tank." There was a huge tank right beside Swami's residence. In fact, there are many photographs you can see of Swami giving darshan to the devotees inside this tank. There would be steps leading to the tank and the devotees would be seated on it all around, and Swami would be in the tank. During the monsoons, this tank would fill up with water. So how can you build anything over there? That is the reason, Swami, that I have selected a piece of land that is closest, that is nearby, accessible, that is right next to the college. Now, this word impossible, right? Somehow it irritates and inspires the Lord in amazing ways. Somebody comes and tells Swami impossible. Swami breaks the word and says, "I am possible. It is possible." Swami said, "No, we will build the hostel in the tank." Yes, you heard me right. Swami gave his blessings and go ahead one day before the groundbreaking ceremony to change the venue and start building the hostel in the water tank that existed in Brindavan. And that is where the hostel stands today. And that is the reason why it has an underground floor as well. Because it was a tank. It was never at floor level before. Of course, one might ask, could you not have sealed it up? Yes, it can be sealed up. But I think Swami left it like this because it is a reminder to all of us about the power and magic of yearning and prayer. For generations to come, for centuries to come, the Brindavan hostel will stand as a beautiful testimony to the love of a devotee for God and the love of God for the devotee. It will show that whenever we yearn, Swami's response is immediate and instantaneous. The problem, however, is that we yearn for so many things other than Swami. I'm reminded of an episode narrated by brother Ashok Sundaresan from the 1995-96 batch, I think. I don't know if the years are right, but around that time, Swami had called all the students in for a Purna Chandra session, a PC session. What's a PC session? A PC session is a private session between Swami and the students inside the Purna Chandra auditorium. PC stands for Purna Chandra. Again, the story of the Purna Chandra auditorium is another fantastic one. At that point in time, it was the largest pillarless auditorium in Asia, and again it has a beautiful story of Shri Poonam Chand Kamani, and in case you have missed seeing that, you can have a look at it at this link above. So during that Purna Chandra session, the boys had no idea what was going to happen, but when they went in, they saw that there were so many piles of different objects, and they understood that Swami was going to be distributing these objects as gifts to them. And the objects varied from the simple and humble toothbrush to perfumes to different, these were all different toiletries, powders, toothbrushes, electric shavers, which were a very big fad back then, all of these. So as the distribution started, all the students began to discuss among themselves, compare and contrast what each one had got. Just imagine there's somebody having a beautiful perfume in a bottle, and another person is just having a toothbrush. How bad that boy must be feeling, right? I just got a toothbrush, he got a perfume. Oh, this guy got an electric shaver. And there was a kind of murmuring going on. Everyone is comparing and, as I said, contrasting their gifts and thinking who is lucky. So busy were the students, brother Ashok Sundaresan says, that they failed to notice that Swami had slowly slipped away and climbed up the stage of the Purna Chandra auditorium. And Swami was about to leave. That is when everybody got, oh hey, where's Swami? Oh, Swami. That is when everybody's attention came back to Swami. Till then they were so lost in the objects of the world. Swami then asked, boys, tell me, who of you wants Swami? Swami smiled, turned and walked away, leaving behind the students with a very, very powerful and intense dose of wisdom. So busy are we comparing and contrasting and clamoring for worldly things that sometimes we forget to yearn for Swami. And Swami is just waiting for us to yearn for him, because when we yearn for him, like that little boy did back when the Brindavan hostel had to be constructed, Swami responds instantaneously and spontaneously. We have such a loving Lord whose heart is like that of butter. With the slightest warmth it will melt. If it is not melting, then I think we are not generating even that much warmth with our love. May we generate so much warmth and heat with our love that Swami melts and becomes one with us. Dear Swami, may we love you intensely. May we love you more and more each passing moment, and may this love keep growing every moment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.